It is 13:05, calling a meeting, an annual general meeting of the Victoria EV Association to order. And I'd like to note that we have a quorum where we have 6 of 6 board members here. Thank you very much. And I'll get to their names right now. All the board members that are here today, Julian Sale, just finished speaking. David Grove, President Emeritus. Maya Gabrovska, our Treasurer. Ted Davies, our Secretary and Research Team Member. Jim Henshaw, our Vice President and Producer. Myself, Glenn Gary, Government Engagement, Non-Government Organizations and Research. And for my sins, President. We're all here. So that takes us through the first 3 items, which I'll just click through here. If anybody wants to keep track at home, take a picture of this. And we will go now to Secretary Ted Davies to do a brief overview of our previous minutes from the last AGM.
Okay, thank you, Glenn. Our last annual general meeting was held on Sunday, October 20th, 2024. Called to order at 1:10 p.m. Confirmed our quorum. Board members were introduced. The 2023 AGM minutes were reviewed and accepted. Glenn gave the president's message, a variety of activities that the association had been doing through the 2023-2024 year. The financial report and budget were presented by our treasurer, Maya. There was a summary of Victoria EV Association activities, 2023-2024, that Glenn went through in some detail. We had recognition of retiring Vice President Heather Kellington, and some good words about Heather's efforts. And then there was a formal confirmation of Jim Henshaw as Vice President of the association. Some update on sponsorship and thank yous to our generous sponsors. There was some indication from Glenn and Jim about planned activities for 2024-2025. We had some new business where there was discussion about funding of the association's activities, and then some discussion about director's insurance. There was some opportunity for some general discussion by the membership, and then adjournment was moved, seconded, and approved at 2:03 p.m. Any comments or questions on the 2024 minutes? Okay, silence. Do I have someone who would move the acceptance of those minutes? Okay, I've got David and a seconder. I'm looking on the screen to see if anyone, did I see a hand go up? Maya, I think Maya did that. Okay, thank you. On to the next agenda item.
Or all in favor?
Oh, all in favor, sorry. Approved. All
righty. Excellent. We'll move on to item number 5, President's Message. So my fellow board members who were around back in 2018 heard me make a prediction about the future. And of course, predicting things is always difficult, especially when it's about the future. I had kind of figured back in 2018 that by 2023, 2024, we'd have put ourselves out of a job and we could go back to showing first generation EVs on lawns during car shows. In the meantime, the world decided to go through COVID, the pandemic. There were a number of political changes around the world, and stuff got weird. This year, 2025 has been a crucial year for advocacy, both at the provincial, national, and international level. There's been a lot of policy confusion due to unstable geopolitical players. No names. But as a result of this, this year we spent some time seeking out allies across Canada and globally to help smooth the troubled waters policy-wise and ensure that we keep going down the orderly transition away from burning of fossil fuels. This led to doing 3 different conferences this year to ensure the voice of the owner citizen were heard both at the government and business level. They know we're here and they know that we care about what's going on. Vic EVA, we continue to look for opportunities to advocate for EVs and clean energy, especially solar, and we have the audacity to stick our oar in sometimes where people don't think it's required. However, they soon come to change their mind because we are providing a viewpoint that is not driven by our fiscal investment, because we have none. Nobody pays us to do what we do. Certainly don't pay us to do anything we do or say what we say. We're an independent voice for the owner citizen. It's been a good year in that respect, and you'll see that when we get down to some of the activities we've done this year. And I want many thanks to the board for your unpaid efforts and support in all this. We may have to do this for a few more years. That's all from me. Okay.
Thank you for your service.
Indeed. All right. We're going to move on to item 6, financial report and budget with Maya Gabrowska.
Hi, all. So our opening balance for the fiscal year was $372.50. And we closed the fiscal year with $1,359.87. Our annual expenses for the year were $8,027.63. And the donations this year were more than the previous years at $9,015. We do have a positive balance this year, which is great. It's $987.37. Our biggest expense still remains EcoNight. We've been paying about $3,000 each year for that. Second biggest expense was the insurance, the director's insurance and liability insurance. However, we managed to find a cheaper solution to that problem. Since we moved to a new insurance company, we managed to save some money this year, which is great. Basically that is all. We do have less expenses compared to previous fiscal year, about $2,000 less. And we do have about 2,700 more donations this year. Very generous sponsors this year. They're all shown on the screen. Basically, that's it.
All right. Could I get a motion to accept the financial report? And I can't see anybody, so I'm going to assume that somebody's there. Ted, you got them?
I think Maya said yes, and is David the seconder?
It should be David as the primary and
Okay.
yeah. Somebody who's not
Okay.
Jim, Julian, you can step up.
There's my
Julian
hand.
is okay, I got it.
Yeah. And
All
all
right.
in favor? Cool. I will say something about the financial report. If you look at donations and stuff there, that $2,000 is not from me. That is from someone who wished to remain anonymous. So I've honored that. But also note on there that about $5,200 of that $9,000 is non-recurring funding. So that means we need to either generate more income or repair expenses. And that's something we'll talk about a bit later. That's all I've got for that. Any questions from the board on that? Nope. Okay. Let me just go to my next bit. Oh, screen shut off. Right. So activities over the last year. We started off last November, Victoria Peninsula Co-op Parade, which we're going to do again this year. We also did the Ladysmith Light Up. Took December off. January, did a brief to the public, to the retired BC Government Employees Union, why electric vehicles and why now. February, Unite with the Royals, and so that's meeting up with the public. One other thing that we did, as you know, in previous years, provincially, when an election comes up, we get together with the 8 other EV associations in British Columbia. They come up with a list of 10 policy recommendations for the politicians and all the parties running in the election, so that they have a clue about electric vehicles and how they should be rolled out and things they can do, things that cost money, many things that don't cost money that can promote electric vehicles and clean energy. We send that all off to them, and then when the election's over, everybody who won a seat gets a reminder. So we came up to a federal election this year with our closest homies, Vancouver EVA, Mid-Island EVA, Prince George, and a few other core others. We came up with a list for the federal side. We then took that across the country to 29 other EVAs from coast to coast. Did the same thing, sent it to everybody who was running and every party, and after the election, we then sent it to everybody who got a seat. We will hopefully know in the next few months whether or not those seeds cast upon the stony ground, if any of them catch and grow. March, first of the conferences, Zero Emission Fleets in Vancouver. This is medium and heavy duty vehicles that are working. It was a 2-day set of workshops, not paid for by the association, but went there to make sure that we kept up to date with what was going on and to help push things along where we could. April, we did a Vic AVA event out at Motorize, which are always fun. And we also did Saanich Earth Day, outreach to the public. May 2025, we did our sort of our spring fling for the membership. Come on out to the Seasider, have a beverage, and just chat. And that was well attended. A lot of fun. June was pretty busy. We did the EV Lab event downtown. They were very kind to have us in and provide coffee and donuts and stuff and talk about what they can do. We then, Jim and I went down to the Inner Harbor and kind of spent the better part of a day catching up with the Artemis hydrofoil, which was out here, their sort of prototype 12-passenger ferry, which was taking people on tours, business people and government in the Inner Harbor. But we got some good video out of that. is part of our advocacy again for owners. We are part of one of the groups that advises to ICBC, and they come to us to talk about basic vehicle damage, what they're looking forward to charging in the future. And that's because cars are more expensive now, and ICBC, they're not supposed to make a profit, but they're sure not supposed to lose money either. So we try and advocate in there for EVs that are generally safer, both to passengers and the environment. So that's always a good thing. We also, we're one of the groups that works with the BC government on the Zero Emission Vehicles Act and the regulations. So we had some interaction there that sprung into many meetings and phone calls and Zooms afterwards. Anyway, more on that later. We also did solar citizens visits where David, Jim, and I all three of us put up our homes for the general public who curious about solar, could come in and talk to an owner as opposed to talking to the vendor, and see how we thought about it and see how our systems worked. And that was a lot of fun. July 2025, as we know, BC Ferry opened the Pandora's box about damaged EVs on ferries, and we've been involved in helping them through that, and also collecting knowledgeable people from around the country to interface with them to come up with solutions. I anticipate there's going to be some answers soon, and we'll all find out about it when the press release drops, because they're keeping it very close to their chest. August, Clean BC transportation submissions to Ministry of Energy and Climate Solutions. That was more paperwork and stuff, both not just to the bureaucrats, but also to the minister himself. September, 5 of us actually went to Everything Electric Vancouver and helped man the Ask an Owner booth there that the Everything Electric people provide for us, which was very kind of them. We were able to talk to the public, which is really good. We then also had, 3 of us went to the Fleet Forward conference at UVic, again, medium and heavy duty electric vehicles, and talked to the vendors and companies who have been operating them, and get a feel for things. And then at the start of October, I went to Vancouver for a 3-day conference run by Electric Mobility Canada, their annual conference. And Electric Mobility Canada is the EV industry. So it is interestingly, none of the light duty vehicle makers, but a number of the medium and heavy duty makers, as well as people who are in providing charging around the country, both at the light, medium, and heavy duty level, and academics from all over the country. So it was a really, really good event. At any one time in the 3 days, there were 4 different little groups talking in different rooms, having presentations and asking questions. So it was really interesting. And again, Vic EVA did not pay for that. Okay. So when we look back over what we do in the year, we look at engagement. So government, we had 11 different engagements at all 3 different levels. 1 engagement with academia, 9 media interviews. Kind of the really fun one I had anyway was Robert Llewellyn from Everything Electric. That was really cool. That was a lot of fun, especially since we had a lot of technical issues. So we were actually talking for about 45 minutes before we actually hit record. So anyway, that was a lot of fun. one presentation to the public, 32 webinars. It takes a lot of effort to keep up to what is happening around the world in different aspects of things. And webinars is one of the best places, and a really good that we have the advanced technology we have today, where you can pop into a webinar happening in Germany. You just have to get up earlier in the morning to do it, but you can attend and see what's happening and offer questions and stuff. Coffee chats, we pretty much made that a quarterly thing. 2 Zooms for the broad member audience. Big time overproduction on YouTube presentations. Jim cranked out 13 this year. That was pretty awesome. 16 different engagements with business and 21 engagements with non-government organizations. Highlights. As I talked, we did that pre and post federal elections ZEV policy recommendations. That's important. Politicians need to see people in their region, hopefully in their riding, who are willing to talk to them and give them their take on things. We also went out since early September, when the federal government put the ZEV Accessibility Act on hiatus. We've been pushing for members to go out, talk to their members of parliament, and get out and support this. Having EVs accessible ensures there's choice when people walk into any car dealership or go online. And that has to be mandated. A lot of advocacy for the BC EV mandate happening in the background. Pushing on that, and we'll see if it's had any traction here shortly. The BC ferries thing. Oh, Jillian, can you hit mute, please?
Yeah, I'm trying to find that. Hang on.
Okay. BC ferries, all that good stuff. ICBC basic vehicle damage. We've rejoined Electric Mobility Canada. We had been members 6 years ago, and we'd left, and we'd been convinced to come back and rejoin, so we've done that. And we've also joined the Global Electric Vehicle Alliance, so we can see what's happening in other countries, and perhaps provide input to help their life better. Okay, we're now on to number 8. So Heather Kellington, she's fully retired now from the membership, or from the board anyway. She will not retire as a member, I imagine, but she's fully retired out. And we now, as you notice, we are 6 board members. And what that kind of means until we get a 7th is that should there be a vote that is, ended up being tied, I would withdraw whatever my vote is to make sure that there isn't a hung board. But we do need a new director. We're looking for somebody who is keen on interacting with our membership, so kind of running our chats and making sure the membership stays engaged, and someone who's willing to go out and do some fundraising from other really ethical organizations. If you look at our board, I can describe 6 of us as white gentlemen over the age of 60. We have 2 board members who are not who are under 60, and only 1 female. Maya's doing a great job of that, but we would love to see a member who's south of 60, south of 50, south of 40. south of. Anyway, someone who's younger and preferably female to come in and do that job. So if anybody on this call knows somebody who doesn't need to own an EV, but is good at engaging with people, we'd like to hear from them. Okay. Now I'm going to hand over to Jim.
Uh-oh. And what am I doing?
Our sponsors.
We have wonderful sponsors. Motorize has been with us longest, I think. Thank you, Julian. And the same with Salt Spring. We brought in Edwards a couple of years ago and Shift at about the same time. And Clean Air Yard Care joined us this year. And we are currently negotiating with 3 other entities. Am I okay to name them, Glenn?
Not yet.
Okay. The primary thing that we're talking about with the new sponsors is we're pretty much maxed out on our webpage for the way that we advertise now, and we don't want to intrude on any of that with our current sponsors. So we're trying to work out a new pattern for sponsorship, and we are seeking 1 or 2 of the new sponsors to cover EcoNight for us, because we think it could be especially useful to them. And EcoNight was something we thought we were getting close to finishing, but with the current atmosphere about electric vehicles and all the bad media and all of that stuff, we thought backing off an advocacy right now might not be the right way to go. But we don't really, unless we find a donor within the membership, we don't really have enough to justify spending our own money on it. So we're bringing in a sponsor who can hopefully benefit from it as much as we do, and take it from there. And that may become the model for the future, that instead of just giving them access to our, be mentioned in our newsletter every week and to be visible on the website, that we can do something where they're actively involved in some of our events. And I have to say at the moment that we're almost being courted as much as we're trying to court sponsors at the moment. So I think other people in the industry realize that it's time to step up a little bit because of all the massive pushback against electric cars. And we'll see where all that goes.
Great.
Glenn?
Thanks, Jim. So, planned activities. Some of these are, the signposts we generally go through each year. So, Planetary Co-op Santa Parade, 29th of November. We'll start going out to get people involved in that. If you've got an interesting light-duty vehicle, we'd love to have you on. Some of the newer Korean vehicles would be awesome. Or even the new Honda or the new GM EV products would be welcome. EcoNight this year is happening really early, 3rd of January. I'll be amazed if everybody's sober by then, but we're going to play hockey anyway. Sometime in May, we'll get together at Seasider if they can support us for another spring cider sip. Everything Electric Vancouver and our AGM next year. And we'll also work hard to have coffee chats every month around the region. Hey, new business. We'll go to the first one here, and I'll kick it off. So as Jim has noticed, or not noticed, noted, funding our activities. We do a lot of stuff. I have a dream. The dream is we have enough money to do all of our regular stuff, but we also have enough money that if we see there's a conference in Vancouver or who knows, Seattle one day, we can afford to pay somebody to take a ferry and maybe buy them buy them a sandwich on the way over or something, you know, because people are spending their own time and effort to do this, and money. Well, right now, and money. Staying in Vancouver for everything electric, that's about $1,000 weekend. That's just for be able to stay anywhere close to downtown and do the event. So that's my dream. That's where I'd love for us to be able to have enough money to do that. Yeah, that's what I got to say about that. Any comment on that? I guess it is kind of obvious. Right, we're gonna move on to second one. Topics from our membership pertain to the operations, because as what we'll do is you have broad questions about EVs and policy and stuff. We'll handle that after the adjournment. But if you have any questions about how we do things, why we do things, now is the moment.
And please just unmute yourself and ask any questions you have.
Well, we must be doing. Go ahead.
This is Shelley from Nanaimo. I was just wondering how many board members is a full slate? Is it 7? Is that what
Yep.
you have?
We've been trying to run 7.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, and that's, you know, so we have a diversity of opinion. The smaller the board, the less diversity you have in the opinion. I mean, we're all keen on EVs. That part should be obvious, but there's a lot of different ways to do things. And yeah, we like having new ideas and new people to help us move in that direction.
Thanks.
Thanks for the question, Shelley.
Yeah, and to add what Glenn has been saying about a new board member, we've already reached out to canvas like the solar industry and some of the clubs at UVic where younger people are wanting to gain experience by working on a nonprofit board. But if you have any ideas of where we could be beating the bushes, let us know.
Yeah, it's funny. Reached out to a number of people I thought would be really awesome because they do great things. They're involved, and guess what? They keep their lives pretty busy, which is exactly why we want them. But anyway, hey, that's all I
David?
got.
Yeah, and I just wanted to mention that we're fortunate to have the best newsletter in the universe, and Jim does that for a fair price. And I say this not just because it's a great newsletter, but I have to find a way to keep my friends, you know.
And that's
Well
true.
done, well done, Jim. It really is a remarkable tool, a device that we have and work with, and people mention it a lot. And I think that we continue to maximize that. I mean, that's where our sponsors are showcase and spend their money to appear there. Really, that's a good part of it. So if we can get more sponsors on a bigger page somehow, that'd be great.
Good point, David. When I'm at these conferences and stuff, and I say where I'm from, they go, "You guys have got the best newsletter anywhere, best weekly newsletter anywhere."
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, it is awesome, and it does take a lot of time and effort. And hats off to you, Jim, producer numero uno.
Thanks. It got me a meeting with the Minister of Energy. So.
Well, there you go.
No.
Go ahead, Andrew.
Hi, everybody.
Andrew?
Yeah, my name is Andrew. I am not officially a member, but I've been enjoying learning quite a bit this afternoon. The question that I have is, has anybody approached an ethical financial services company to come aboard as a sponsor? When somebody mentioned a few minutes ago, we're looking for sustainable, ethical relationships. I've been with a local financial advisor who's done ethical financing for many years now, and it makes sense to me to try and build some kind of relationship with a finance, because not only can they help us in terms of potential sponsorship, but we can offer them access to perhaps individual members who may want to take a look at parking some of their investments with a company like an ethical investor. Many years ago, you might remember there was in Victoria, there was an alternative chamber of commerce that was started. And for the life of me, because I now have the memory of a newborn mute, I cannot for the life of me remember the name of the organization. But our business at the time was part of the anti-chamber, as it was commonly known. So I'm just wondering if there's any synchronicities with ethical financial investors. Was my question.
Andrew, a couple of years ago, Heather, who was our treasurer at the time, moved us from RBC, who are one of the major sponsors of the petroleum industry, to Van City, which hasn't worked out as well as we thought it would. I think I can honestly say, in that they do have like better loan rates for EVs and things like that. But we're always, if you can send us recommendations in that sector, we'd love to look at it.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
the other thing I'd add to that is that anybody who's a member of ours, one of the solemn promises we make is we do not share your information with anyone else. So that financial, they would get ethical financial group. What they would get is a banner on our website, and if they work well with us, we'll talk well about them. But and people will see that, and they can choose to investigate them on their own. But yeah, we certainly won't be shilling for them directly, not with our membership lists anyway. Anybody else want to jump in on that? Yeah, but so Andrew, I think that's a great idea. If you know of anybody like that, please let Jim know, and we will follow up.
Yeah, I'll certainly do that. Yeah, and I wasn't suggesting any kind of quid pro quo, kind of one hand washes the other. I just think that there's an opportunity for two like-minded organizations to see what they can do together in an exploratory fashion.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to test the theory that there are no dumb questions, and ask another question, and that is, does the association not have membership fees?
No.
I see, and there's obviously, that was discussed and decided at some point that's not the way the organization wished to go.
Yeah, our mandate is to advocate for electric vehicles and solar far and wide, and we do not want to have any financial barrier to someone being part of that, right?
So how does one officially join then, Glenn?
Did you get an email? Or rather, are you on our newsletter list?
I am, thanks to Jim, yes.
You're a member.
And I second what everybody's been saying about the quality and the depth of the newsletter Jim's so muzzled of.
Yeah, so you're a member.
Yep.
I'm a member. Okay.
Yep.
Very good.
And if you'd like to make a donation, we're more than happy to accept.
Oh yes. Anybody who'd like to Donations,
know,
mention us in
the
your
one
will. Yeah, we're all good with that. Buy lottery tickets for us.
once the strike is over, something we can look at. We haven't received any money. Our business is in limbo because of the BCG EU strike. So hopefully that gets settled soon, and then we can start to see some finances again.
Right on. Okay, if that's the last question, what I'm going to do is take a vote on adjournment so Julian can go back to running his business. So, a motion for adjournment. David, seconder. Okay, all in favor? And 13:45.